Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 2. Bit of a spontaneous stream. I mean, I did say at the end of the last one that I was going to continue with Dark Souls 2 today. But yeah, welcome back. I hope you are having a beautiful evening, day, or morning wherever you are, or night potentially. And well, yeah, we were finishing off. Well, I had to take a lunch break because my food arrived, which was a little bit, yeah, awkward timing. I usually don't really like to leave things hanging, and, well, there is a certain boss, or rather a certain snake lady, that demands to be killed, right? So I definitely wanted to finish with that today as well. If you might have checked out my stream schedule, I think I already mentioned that, like yesterday or something, but I had to cancel the 14 stream today, which is because one of our static members is not available, and, well, we just don't really want to prog T without them. So, as I said before, there is definitely going to be the next 14 stream is going to be on Sunday evening for me. Again, check out the time in the stream schedule. It will be an hour longer than the schedule says, though, because we're adding the hour that we didn't do on Tuesday to Sunday. So that's when we're going to go back into T. And then, obviously, Sunday morning is going to be the last session of Astro's Playroom. I want to finish that before I start with Elden Ring, which, well, here's my Elden Ring situation. Since I have to work the next 2 days, I wasn't going to stream anyway, right? I'm currently not streaming Fridays or Saturdays. What that means, though, is that even though Elden Ring releases tomorrow, I wasn't going to play it anyway, and I was sort of debating with myself whether or not I wanted to start on Sunday or Monday. That will now sort of depend on when I actually get the game. I didn't really pre-order it at all. Obviously, I don't think anybody should ever pre-order games. So, I didn't do that, but I bought it now, obviously, because I want to play it. The thing is, it's supposed to arrive tomorrow. I'm not here, though, obviously, right? So I'm not entirely sure if I will be able to get it either tomorrow or on Saturday. And so, well, that's slightly, depending on that. I don't know whether or not I'll stream Elden Ring I start on Sunday or if I start on Monday. Either way, I am trying to, or rather, I most likely will add the stream to the stream schedule as well. I still need to figure out how much time I have for Elden Ring and how I want to do other stuff. So this is probably going to be the last stream of Dark Souls 2 at least for a week, right? Because I want to jump into Elden Ring. I was already, I was seeing everybody started streaming Elden Ring about 3-4 hours ago, right, on Twitch, which looked kind of nuts. And I had the briefest of brief looks at Peef's stream. He already played through it, and because he got a review copy, I think, and he's doing his second playthrough now on stream. And I was just, sort of watching a little bit of the pre-chat that he does, right? But again, I didn't really want to spoil myself. I know a couple of things, obviously, about Elden Ring, since I did watch the footage that especially Peef had from the network test. But I don't think that I'm spoiled on anything too major. I think I know one actual boss. I know 2 world bosses, but I think, well, that's the stuff from the network test anyway, which I suspect is sort of the beginning of the game, right? So, and according to people, it is an actual open world game with apparently a very, very interesting exploration site, which I'm really, really looking forward to. Because it does seem that Elden Ring massively improves on the things that I always wanted for Dark Souls games, which is a bit more interesting writing, and certainly just a a lot more exploration, a lot more world building, that sort of stuff. Not that Dark Souls doesn't do that, or Bloodborne or Sekiro for that matter. It's just that, well, in a way, they're purposely kept obscure, right? And I feel like that's more a detriment to the game. Obviously, a lot of people like it, and especially I think when the games first sort of gained popularity, it definitely helped them in that regard, right? Because, most especially Demon Souls, but also Dark Souls then when it released, were these sort of niche and very obscure games in a lot of ways. And the fact that their entire setup, essentially, the story, even in terms of some of the gameplay mechanics, the obscurity of it, all of that sort of built up this myth or, the whole sort of, what do you call it? Well, the entire legend of these FromSoft games, right? But in a way, I personally always felt that it also held them back, and I think that was probably most apparent in Sekiro, where for some reason they still held on to a couple of the elements that were present in, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, whereas Sekiro was much more an actual story, and in my opinion, should have had even more story and world building and these sorts of things in it, right? And I think it also suffered from some of the limitations that they had with how, they basically still used the same sort of structure that they had built up over the years, right, for Sekiro as well. Which in some cases I felt like was to the game's detriment. And so I'm really looking forward to Elden Ring. Again, I don't know exactly when I'm going to start with it, but there is going to be the Astro's Playroom stream in between there as well, because I definitely want to finish that. I don't want to sort of start and dive into Elden Ring, because I know that's going to be, a long playthrough and still not having finished Astro's Playroom. I know that's sort of a, funny contradiction, sort of, right? They're very, very different games. But I started it, and so I just don't want to leave it hanging. And I think I can manage to wait a couple more hours for Elden Ring as well. Again, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to start on Sunday. So, yeah. But because of that, obviously, this here is going to be the last Dark Souls 2 stream for, again, about a week. And then after it, after sort of the first week of Elden Ring, I think I will probably put back like 1 day of Dark Souls 2 per week or something. Because I definitely want to finish it, right? At some point, and then maybe after I finish Elden Ring or something, I can sort of put in more Dark Souls 2 as well. And I think it will actually be a great opportunity to sort of look at the differences and the things that FromSoft learned and did different over the years, right? And again, that has sort of been a major theme of this Dark Souls 2 playthrough as well, where I think that it's very, very interesting to see what kind of things FromSoft tried here in this game that I feel like they should have built upon, rather than, sort of take a step back and return to the things that they had with Dark Souls 1 and use that for Bloodborne, for example. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it is actually, and that's, I don't want to speculate about that too much, but I sometimes think that, with games that get heavily criticized, and I think that Dark Souls 2 was sort of in that vein, right, where at least, a while after release, a lot of people voiced heavy criticism of the game and didn't like a lot of the directions that FromSoft was taking with it. And I think a lot of the good parts, or the good ideas that Dark Souls had, sort of fell victim to that, where they might have not really, instead of thinking about, we might have went into a couple of wrong directions with Dark Souls 2, let's sort of, steer back to what we were doing originally, but still keep the actual and tangible improvements that we made in Dark Souls 2 for our next games, right? And I feel like, at least, especially thinking about Bloodborne, because it is, even though the gameplay is very different and obviously the setting's very different, it still just fundamentally carries over a lot from like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and still has a lot of those fundamental elements to it. And I feel like, again, the innovations that were made here in Dark Souls 2 are not present in Bloodborne at all. And I'm slightly wondering why that is, why they maybe they just thought that because of the criticism that they received, none of these things that were changed with Dark Souls 2 were actually good. Whereas I think a lot of them were good. It's just the way sort of the whole package suffers from a couple of things. But we'll obviously return to the topic throughout the playthrough. I'm sure of it, since it's been a thing, well, a running theme essentially, right? Every time there are certain elements that you can see, but yeah, I mean, we'll see, I guess. Let's actually go back. Let's finish off Snake Lady. I was a little bit, not necessarily distracted, but the fact that, it was kind of towards the end of the stream and I knew that my lunch was going to arrive shortly. It did feel a bit, rushed how I attempted this boss fight. And I do want to do better this time, right? I do want to actually properly try this. One thing that I did want to have a look at, though, before we go back in, is that I sort of forgot to potentially upgrade my gear, because I haven't really done that in a long while to look at that, and to take a look at whether or not I could improve certain things there. Because I think, for a long time I was also not really sure whether or not I would keep this stuff, but I have a lot of Titanite shards, so it might be a good idea to actually upgrade my armor now that I think about it. Because I was actually taking quite a lot of damage during that boss fight, which I sort of thought, up until that point wasn't really an issue at all. Let's use the small souls and stuff that I have. And see what I can do in terms of upgrades. So what am I wearing currently? Okay, this is a bit more expensive. I can upgrade the helm, certainly. One Titanite shard. These upgrades are actually more expensive than I thought they would be.
I'll be around.
Okay, let me see. So, what do I have? Physical defense 95. Versus strike, versus slash, versus thrust. The defenses on the right seem a lot higher. Let's see. I mean, these souls aren't really worth that much anyway, so let's use a couple of them. This way they also won't clog up my inventory. And since I have my armor requires Twinkling Titanite. Well, that's unfortunate. I kind of don't really want to waste that, to be honest. Large Titanite shards. Let's maybe upgrade these first, huh? Upgrade these to +3 each, and this to +3. I could go to +4 with this. I mean, that's just one large Titanite shard, and then maybe +4 with this as well, right? Just so that I'm actually upgrading the stuff at some point.
I'll be around.
I don't know, upgrading your armor, even in Dark Souls 1, was sort of an obscure thing, I felt like. I mean, it was, at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it, right? Or rather, well, I don't know if it's worth it, but it's something that you can do, right? It literally, it doesn't cost that much, and as you saw, I have a bunch of Titanite shards and all that kind of stuff, so I guess at the end of the day, you really want to use that, right? There isn't really a specific reason why you wouldn't use it. So yeah, I'm just gonna do it, right? Now I have, let's see, equipment, +4, +3, +4, yeah, it's not that bad. I don't think that it's gonna make a huge difference. I mean, in terms of the stats, I think it's really, I think about like maybe a 10% difference, if even. Which, considering how much upgrading you have to do, I mean, in terms of souls, it's not very expensive, but the materials, I mean, the materials aren't really expensive either. Although the large Titanite shards do cost, I think, 1,000 souls per piece or something. Yeah, I don't know. The armor upgrades are always kind of a weird thing because they're so much worse than the weapon upgrades, right? That's what makes them so weird. The fact that the armor upgrades are just so much worse compared to everything else. And it's somewhat weird that they would do it that way. Wait, that hit me? I hate that she can move, like, into the poison like that. She definitely has a slightly unusual attack pattern, where, I think... Wait. The hell was that? Oh, oh. Why? What? Why am I even targeting her if she's still, like, that was weird. Yeah. As I thought, I was just sort of not really... I hate this so much. I hate this so much that these weird enemies can still run into the boss room after you. That is such a weird thing and just shouldn't happen, right? Okay. I thought for a second the other guy would also come, but he's just, he's kind of slightly confused, I think. Now he just walks back. Yeah, he's really... No, he's actually not walking back. He's sort of, I don't know. Looks like he wants to attack the wall. Looks like he's drunk, to be completely honest, doesn't he? Poor fellow. But yeah, as I thought, this boss actually wasn't that difficult. I don't really know what to make of this boss, to be completely honest, because it's a bit weird in its design. Oh, he's actually coming. Well, that took you some time, huh? You still looked a bit drunk when you was walking in here. What? I actually thought that... I think I actually... Oh, they can heal? Interesting. I thought I actually was getting the backstab, but apparently not. But yeah, this... I don't know. This whole deal with the Snake Lady is kind of a weird one. And there is a couple of reasons for that. I mean, first of all, it is slightly weird because it's certainly, I would say, the second hardest boss that I fought so far, which doesn't say much considering most of them were incredibly easy, right? But I would say comparatively, like the Pursuer, this was the second boss that actually had proper boss mechanics, right? Which means, or by which I mean that she has a fairly powerful ranged attack with like these homing lasers that she shoots. She can throw her head, which is not only like a very cool thing that she does that, also it has this animation attached to it where she jumps back to it, right, and sort of collects it back, which I think is really cool. So two very different ranged attacks, which is really cool. She has a charge, right, that quickly sort of stabs at you with her spear thing. That is actually fairly fast and has a pretty good range. Kind of an unexpected range, even. Her normal combo has either 2 or 3 hits, I think. And they even have... They're sort of slightly delayed and then really fast, which makes them actually... Well, I wouldn't necessarily challenging to dodge, but certainly, you have to get the timing right. It's not... with the other bosses, I just went in, and it was immediately apparent at what points you had to dodge. Here, you actually had to take a couple of tries to properly learn the dodge timing, right? Then, obviously, even if you drain the poison, she can still heal if she jumps back into it. Now, that's... the problem with that is it seems sort of on accident. She doesn't, like the AI isn't programmed to specifically jump into the poison to heal, which is kind of a shame, I think. And I'll come back to that. I think that should actually be the case. Also, her back jump, like most boss back jumps, is just weird. It just sort of... I don't know, most back jumps in FromSoft games that bosses do just kind of feel weird and also look kind of weird because most bosses just sort of jump back. But that's not how any living being would jump back, I don't think. I don't know, it's just kind of a weird thing. Yeah. I do think with the poison drained, that this boss is still too easy. I would say. She's still... Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing that bosses here in Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 1 for that matter as well, the biggest thing that bosses are suffering from is there's just no phase transition, right? I mean, think about Bloodborne. Most bosses have multiple phases. Sometimes the transition between them is not a big one, right? They just change. They change their attack patterns somewhat. But most bosses in Bloodborne and in Sekiro as well, obviously, have like very major phase changes where they completely change how they attack. They completely change their behavior. The pacing of the fight changes. Right? There's so much that a phase change can do. And arguably, phase changes need to be done right as well. I think Sekiro is guilty of that at certain points where they have sort of first phases that are not that good or can get really boring really fast. But then they have a very difficult second or third phase. And then the first phase feels kind of a slog. Right, so you definitely want to avoid that with phase changes. But even then, I mean, think about, let's say, the Blood-Starved Beast, for example. Even though it doesn't have like a major phase change, it still has 3 distinct phases from one another, where it introduces new mechanics that you have to deal with. Right, first it introduces more sort of poison clouds, I think, around it, and then in the third phase, it even leaves behind a poison cloud. Right. And those are things that not only need to be aware of them, but also they can just be interesting in a multitude of ways, right? They can be interesting because maybe you want to rush a certain phase. They can be interesting because maybe maybe even the later phases are easier for you, and so it feels kind of good when you get through the first one or something. But again, I guess at the end of this, what I'm saying is these bosses heavily suffer from the fact that they're always just the same. It's always just one thing, and they do their attack pattern over and over again, right? And then obviously, also you have a feeling that in the later FromSoft games, again, mainly talking about Bloodborne and Sekiro here, the bosses actually have a certain sort of idea behind what they're doing. So they particularly attack in a way where even though you might want to try and stay close to them, they sometimes still force distance between you. Things like that, right? Whereas here in Dark Souls 2, at least, once you kind of have somewhat of a safe angle to attack them, there really isn't that much threat going on anymore, right? I mean, the only reason why I was even damaged in this fight at all is because I completely messed up my dodge timing in that particular case, or just didn't expect something to happen that I should have expected, or that I already should have known would happen, right? And I don't know, in that regard, this fight did feel kind of underwhelming. And here's my biggest problem with this whole thing. The way to drain the poison, right, is really obscure. I mean, you saw me really struggling to get through it, and I did receive a hint from Twitch chat, technically two, because somebody came in and spoiled that you can drain the poison, which I don't know if I would have guessed that myself. I mean, considering how difficult the fight was with the poison, I would say that it isn't that big of an assumption or that big of a leap to think that, oh yeah, there should be something that makes this fight easier, right? Although, unfortunately, and that's another problem, you don't really expect that, because the first time a gimmick like like this has been introduced in this game, where a fight can be technically made easier, is the Lost Sinner. But in that case, turning on the lamps doesn't really do anything, right? It doesn't really make the fight easier at all, because it's already easy. So, well, that's kind of a problem, right? Whereas this fight is ridiculously hard if you don't drain the poison. Not because of the boss, but because of the poison, right? If the poison literally every 20 seconds or so, I mean, even now, even though the fight didn't take long, even though it was fairly easy to do, I don't know how long it actually took, probably like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe. Overall, that's not a long time, but considering how fast you can get poisoned in this game, that would mean that I would get poisoned 5 to 6 times over the entire encounter if the poison had not been drained. Meaning that I would have had to heal at least 6 times and would be significantly more at risk at actually dying if you get hit even once, right? So I feel like, considering how obscure this whole mechanic is in terms of draining the poison pool, I find it kind of ridiculous how difficult the fight is without draining it. Simply because poison, or being poisoned in Dark Souls 2, is really heavy on your health, right? The speed and amount of health that gets taken away by being poisoned once is kind of insane. It takes about, at least from the size of my health bar right now, right, with the being hollow effect being cut off from my health bar, it took away, like the poison would take away about 1.5 times my entire health bar, meaning like 2 Estus flasks worth of damage, right? And again, consider that I would be poisoned about 5 times in the course of this fight, even though the way I just approached it was very easy. And then you also have to think about that the healing takes time away, which means that, you know, healing 5 times even would mean probably another instance of getting poisoned. So that's kind of ridiculous. The difference is kind of ridiculous. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly quite certain that I wouldn't have had much fun with this area had I not received a hint. And had I not played it on stream, I also think that I would have probably looked up a hint, even though I hate doing that, but it just felt kind of cheap, right? The problem is that there is no sort of bigger puzzle going on, right? There is literally no puzzle. It's just, well, maybe you get lucky. Maybe you have like a stroke of genius and figure out, oh, well, maybe you'd be able to hold the windmill. And even when I figured it out, and that's sort of the bad thing, or the reason why this is kind of a bit bullshit, honestly, is because even when you think about it, I did think about, even before receiving those hints, I still thought about, oh, these gears are turning, right? This whole windmill is turning. And considering that the previous area was called Harvest Valley, I did sort of think to myself, well, this place seems to be connected to the poison. Whatever they do here clearly produces this poison, right? That was sort of my train of thought. So I was already thinking, well, if I could stop the gears from turning, maybe that would stop the poison being here, or at least would stop poison production or something. I had that thought, and still I was not really able to... I mean, I was running around this place pretty much for at least an hour, trying to figure stuff out without actually being able to do anything, really. Or figure anything out on my own. And again, the problem here is that it's not a puzzle. It's not something that where the game gives you hints and you can solve it. It's literally either you find the prompt that lets you set the windmill on fire or you don't, right? You can get lucky if you're playing online with the messages turned on, and that I know that it's part of Dark Souls design to have these messages to give you hints. So with messages turned on, yes, you can certainly get lucky and find the hint, but it's still kind of bullshit. Especially, right? Especially because setting the whole thing aflame isn't even logical. Because the thing that's turning, right? The thing that is close to you at the point where you can set it alight, right? So it gives you the prompt X, press X to set it alight if you approach the giant windmill thing in the front with an active torch, right? The thing is, though, that the actual, what are they called, blades of the windmill are about 2 meters away, right? Certainly out of your reach. But the middle section, the thing that's turning, looks to be made out of metal. So it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever that you would be able to set it aflame from that point, right? Maybe with a lot of luck, or if you were to build some sort of extension for your torch or something. And that's probably the biggest problem that I have with this, right? The fact that it just doesn't really make, like, the idea behind it, right? The idea that, oh yeah, stopping, like setting the windmill on fire would stop it, would stop the gears, would stop the poison production. That makes sense. Setting it on fire the way you do it does not, right? And that is a big problem because, well, yeah. I can see people, even though I personally admit that, I maybe wasn't the smartest about this. I do think that I sort of got sort of distracted by a couple of things. For example, the face in the wall, right? I completely got distracted by that and thought that was the way to drain the poison pool. And I got sort of stuck on that for probably half an hour or even longer, right? Only thinking about that and not even thinking about other things that I already had mentioned at some point. So I already had this sort of idea. Why is this thing even coming towards me? I already had this sort of idea, oh yeah, maybe you can stop these wheels from turning. But again, at the same time, I also got distracted by that face on the wall. But that's sort of another thing, right? That why then add that face on the wall? As if this whole thing wasn't already obscure enough. On top of that, they then add this face in the wall that literally doesn't do anything. I mean, once you drain the poison, it cleans you from the poison effect, but that doesn't help you at all. I mean, there is no point to it because you don't need to enter that place ever, unless you've still got to kill the mimic. But even in that case, cleaning the poison isn't really a big deal in that regard, right? So it's, I really don't know what to make of this. And again, the biggest problem at the end of the day is that this fight, it's certainly doable. I mean, I said so from the very beginning. I felt like the fight with the poison even was doable. If you really, really learn the attack patterns of the boss, if you're pretty much doing almost a no-hit run of the boss, you can then just try to heal against the poison. And that is certainly possible. But compared to all the other bosses, doing this boss fight with the poison, honestly, is way more challenging than all the other bosses combined. I would even argue that doing this fight with the poison active is probably harder than if you would give me a large arena and put in every other boss they fought at once. I would say doing that is probably easier than doing this fight with the poison active. And that's kind of ridiculous. That's, you know, kind of a, I don't know, maybe maybe that's not entirely true. Because fighting multiple enemies can be pretty bullshit in Dark Souls as well. That's why I'm saying that. But, I don't know. Otherwise, I thought this area was actually pretty cool. I also thought that the whole poison thing and the way poison was used in this case is actually a lot better compared to poisonous areas in Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne or Sekiro. This place actually uses the poison for something like, or rather the way it uses it just feels way more like an actual sort of puzzle piece rather than just some game, like, annoying hindrance, right? And so the way they use poison here is a million times better, for example, than how poison is being used in Bloodborne. But at the same time, they then sort of, instead of, adding cool, actual good puzzles that are connected to the poison, they then instead do this sort of bullshit thing where either you find it or you don't. Right? That is... And even, they could have added hints about it, right? That's the thing. They could have had maybe the guy that with the ladder, right? He does hint at the fact that she heals, but that's kind of obvious to see. If you try to fight this boss multiple times with the poison still active, you can definitely see that she's healing in the poison. So the fact that then the guy with the ladder then says, well, she's healing with the poison, or the poison heals her, or whatever, that's sort of a fairly useless hint, right? I really don't know. I also think that, don't you get like a much better hint at the Lost Sinner? I don't know, actually. I would have to look back at that. Maybe it's just the messages that actually told me to write those things. I don't know. I actually would like to be able to go back and try this fight again with the poison turned on. Because the whole time I was also complaining that the game's just too easy, right? But that's, I don't know, the problem with this fight with the poison turned on is that you're not really fighting the boss, you're fighting the poison. And the poison doesn't do much, it just damages you over time, with actually quite a lot of damage. So, that's not what I consider a challenge, right? It's just, well, you get a bunch of damage, cool, right? It obviously it makes the boss fight a lot harder because you need to find these places to heal, and you probably you can't get hit at all. But that's not the type of challenge that I want to have, especially in the first time playthrough, right? I want to figure out the boss's mechanics. I want to figure out what kind of cool attacks they have, right? I mean, I would have even been completely, like, had this lady been spewing poison and poisoning you like that. I mean, certainly, again, when we go back to Bloodstarved Beast and Bloodborne, it does poison you, right? So you need to deal with that. Now, in Bloodsurf Beast case, poison and Bloodborne in general isn't that big of a deal. It deals way less damage compared to here, and it's also way easier to use the healing items against it, stuff like that. So, overall, it doesn't end up being that big of an obstacle. But, if the boss had been the thing that poisons you, if certain attacks or certain, like, they could have even done very cool stuff where the poison sometimes rises up and then falls back down or something, right? They could have, for example, they could have actually designed this arena with like 4 small platforms or something, or maybe 1 very small platform in the middle where the poison doesn't rise to. So you have the option of either getting more space but being poisoned, or having to fight in a very, very small space. And then it lowers again, and, that keeps happening over the course of the fight. An even better thing would have been if the boss does a certain move that raises the poison level that you can, through clever play, either completely avoid or interrupt or something, right? So that you would be purposefully capable of preventing the poison from rising. Again, all kinds of things. They could have even included these 2 weird levers that I was thinking about earlier, right? That apparently serve no purpose at all in this level, and just raise and lower those 2 completely, unimportant bowls with poison. Maybe they could have included this here, right? Where, for example, the boss lowers one of them and tries to shatter it, increasing the poison level. That could have even been some sort of soft enrage the poison level, right? And you sort of desperately scramble and run towards the wall to try to pull the lever to raise it back up or something, right? So the bowl can't get shattered. I mean, there's all kinds of these very, very cool things and ideas that they could have done with it. And I don't know, they didn't, right? Or again, obviously the best possibility in this case would have been to make an actual puzzle out of the windmill turning, right? So instead of having to set it on flame, they could have had like multiple levers or something throughout the level that had to be activated in a certain order, or, again, thinking back to those poison bowls that raise and lower, maybe, their sort of how full they were or something would have given you a hint towards whether or not they need to be raised or lowered, and then there were multiple throughout the level, and you had to set all of them to the correct position to then stop the windmill or something like that, right? That would have been pretty cool. Make it an actual puzzle. That would have also been pretty great. But yeah, this way it's sadly a bit obscure, and overall, again, the problem is that once you drain the poison, you're left with a pretty underwhelming boss fight, right? So you either have an insane challenge that is way, way harder than anything else so far has been, or you lower the poison level and it goes back to being a pretty disappointing boss fight, all things considered, right? Although it's still the best, like the second best one that I fought so far. So that is just a very, like, sort of weird choice that you have to make here, right? That's like 2 extremes, whereas the best thing obviously would be something in the middle, right? But oh well. Alright, let me actually take a look at the soul. And also, one thing that I did not expect, though, is that I for sure thought that she was going to be one of the great souls that we need to get, but she wasn't. She's just a normal boss soul. Mitha, the baneful queen soul, who lives in Earthen Peak. The queen sought the king's affection, even poisoning herself to attain beauty despite the monstrous consequences. All for the compelling madness known as love. Yeah. And also, I am still missing a couple of items there, right? So... oh, that's an elevator. So we're going up in this tower, apparently? Also, let me just once again say the fact that you have to press X to activate hidden walls is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen. How can you implement such a dumb control scheme? If reading messages that are mostly placed in front of illusionary walls is done with pressing X, why would activating the illusionary wall be also X? That's just like how to not do gameplay controls or gamepad controls 101, basically, right? Yeah, now I'm still confused about what I am supposed to do about those 2 missing items in the treasure chest, or rather 1 missing item in the treasure chest. I'm still really confused as to how I'm supposed to get to it, but alright, I guess. Let's see where this leads. This elevator and room sort of do remind me a bit of Bloodborne, to be completely honest. And for some reason this tower is entirely empty, which is strange, to say the least. Once again, kind of strange that they don't give you a bonfire. I do. Now I definitely want to get back and try to. Whoa! What is this? What the fuck? Did we go up in the tower? Why is there suddenly lava? How does that work? Where the fuck are we? Iron Keep. What the fuck? So this is... What are that? Looks like a griffin on the right, but with a slightly different head. And... is it supposed to be the same thing on the left? I think it is, yeah. They kind of look like griffins, but they look like they have like a different head or something. Okay, for a second there, I thought my sound was going, like, doing something weird, but it actually just started to rain in real life. What the fuck is going on here exactly? We did go up, didn't we? Why are we suddenly in some hellish-looking place? Also, how the fuck does this exist on top of the windmill? That sort of doesn't really make any sense. Toxic and weakness hole. Ooh, the way the lava flows looks very weird, but also very cool at the same time. Ah, there's the bonfire. What are they talking about? The dark spirit. Weird. Well, let's go back to Majula and get rid of my souls first before I get through this area. Also, yeah, I kind of want to go back and try to get those 2 items that I'm still missing. Because they're really bugging me, and I think there should be a way to get them, right? I mean, obviously there has to be a way to get them, it's just that it's kind of weird that I wouldn't be able to do so. Alright, let's see. This is 2 levels, right? To be completely honest, it might actually be a good idea to go for Vigor again. Because I haven't increased my health in a very long time. Although that being said, I'm constantly running around with lower health. So I could also just use a human effigy. I guess that would make things a lot easier as well. This increases petrify resistance, okay. I don't know, I could go for... Maybe I want to increase strength to 30 first. Now I kind of regret leveling Dex so early. I should have probably just put the point... Yeah, but... You know what? Yes, cancel level up. First of all, before I do that... you know what? I'm not gonna level up at all. At least not right away. First of all, I'm going to give him the souls that he wants to build the ladders. Not that I really need them, since I've already gotten down to the bonfire anyway. But please do it. I mean, it's literally just one level.
Especially from you.
What does it mean from you? What have I ever done to you?
When I get the chance to help others.
If that would be the case, he would help me without requiring the souls, you dumb fuck. Also, where were the ladders? What the fuck? If they already existed, I could have just put them there myself. I swear, if these aren't really good ladders, right?
Hey, this ladder's not for sale. The only things I sell are miniatures. I mean, if that tickles your fancy, you can buy as many as you like.
Wait, what? You only sold one, though, at the beginning. Does he now sell... No. What the fuck are you talking about? You're not selling unlimited miniatures of ladders? It's not true at all.
Well, that's fine.
Hey, what are these for then?
A very reasonable offer.
Are they for other ladders? Are there other ladders that I could set up? What? I guess for the ones even further down or something? It's the exact same cutscene, okay. I mean, I guess that's fair. What? Huh?
Hey, the only things I sell are...
What? Wait, what? You're literally putting up 3 ladders at the... What the fuck is this? I mean, these 500 I don't really care about. I mean, I guess there were multiple points where you could jump down to, right? So having multiple ladders, I guess they lead to different places as well? Huh.
Hey, don't... Cheers for that.
The fuck? So one that's actually useful, that leads all the way down. The small one? Are you kidding me? What is this? You took 500 souls from me for this? Idiot. Well, at least the second one's also useful. What the fuck? I do have to admit though, this is really cool. And again, one thing that at least both Bloodborne and Sekiro don't really use at all, the fact that an NPC can sort of fundamentally change how the world works, or what kind of things you can access. That is actually a really, really cool idea. And again, something they haven't really done in the later games as well. And yeah, that just makes me wonder why. I mean, it's fairly basic in this game, but, you know, that doesn't mean that they couldn't have improved upon functions like these in the future. Anyway, let me go back to the things betwixt real quick, because I left behind a petrified something last time, I think. So that's why I didn't want to level, because there might be a chance that I get a petrified dragon bone, which would maybe let me use my twin blade if I wanted to. Although at this point, since I have messed up my stats somewhat, I am actually considering maybe just redistributing my stat points, although I don't necessarily know how that works. Like, if it actually costs a lot of souls to do that? I mean, I guess it initially does cost a couple of souls, but then also it just costs the item, right? I don't think that there's really any point in... Hey, I actually did get a petrified dragon. Well, that certainly brings up difficult decisions. Okay, let's leave behind... What do I have? I have another petrified something. Nice. So nice, so smooth. I don't really know about the Morning Star. It's certainly a cool weapon. Don't know if I really want to commit to the Twin Blades, though. I mean, the weird thing is that if I would, or if I were to redistribute stat points in a way that would probably make the game even easier, since I could focus on the stat that my weapon is actually good at. Alright, let's see. Can you even reinforce that thing? Should be able to, right? There. Dragon Rider Twin Blade +2.
I'll be around.
So if I equip that, I mean, theoretically it's better, right? Although now I'm slightly confused why I'm over 70% again. What? The fuck did I change? Did I mess up something? Didn't change my rings or anything. Oh, because I equipped the bow. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can just unequip that. I mean, theoretically, right? Theoretically, we're talking about a difference of 198, and 118 plus 92 is 210. So theoretically, my damage should be higher. The Twin Blade thing might be a bit heavier, though. The thing is also, it does scale with strength. I just don't know whether or not increasing strength actually helps a lot, so I don't know, you know, if we're looking at my stats here with strength at 27 and dexterity at 22, I don't know if that's really, like, worth it. I kind of like having the basic pyromancy flame, though. I mean, at least it helped against the moths, and it's sometimes a good opportunity to draw out opponents, right? So I do kind of want to keep it, to be completely honest. And now, I mean, if I look at it, if I were to actually redistribute my stat points, if I want to use the Twin Blade, it wouldn't look that different. I guess I would put, I don't know, 6 strength points into dexterity instead, but that's not really that much of a difference. The only reason to redistribute my stat points would be if I wanted to keep using the Morning Star, because I could then... That would be actually kind of insane. If I were to keep using my Morning Star and redistribute my stat points, I could put all the dexterity back into strength, essentially, and I could put most of my vitality into vigor, endurance, adaptability, or any of those stuff, right? So... Yeah. Considering that the game's not been that hard so far, though, aside from desperately trying to find a way to properly, or to get rid of the poison. I feel like I kind of don't want to do that. I could level up anyway, though. Let's see. 12.4. I'm at 9.8, means I'm missing 2,600. I have these two. I don't know. Is one of these 3,000? Is this 3,000 or 4,000? Whatever. Oh, oops. Well, that's a bit more. Shit. Oh well.
Bearer of the lesson.
You know what, though? One thing that I forgot entirely, which maybe is the reason why they so awkwardly added on the Sun Covenant in that area as well, is that, wait, why does dexterity not increase my attack? The fuck? That doesn't make any sense. I think it's because it only ever does that every second, like, stat, right? Which means that I probably want to put it at 28 at some point either way, like the strength stat. That's just weird, isn't it? I guess let's do that first and level dexterity from here on out then. What did I just say? I said something. Now I don't remember. Losing my memory, no! Getting lost in the world of Dark Souls 2. I mean, the weapon looks cool, though. Doesn't really fit my outfit all that well, but whatever. Oh, right. I was going on about the summon signs. Yeah. Maybe that would have been an opportunity to actually summon, right? Having the poison still active. I imagine summoning somebody else might have been a viable opportunity to get through that fight. I didn't think about that earlier, but yeah, I mean, obviously that's, you know, those kinds of online elements, they, I mean, that's why they exist, right? So I guess that might have certainly been an opportunity to use that, to actually make use of my Covenant as well. Oh shit, oops. Picked up my controller and pressed the L2 button. Yeah. Alright. Let us go back to what would make the most sense. The Iron Keep. But wait, isn't the Iron Keep supposed to be like the, Isn't the Iron Keep supposed to be the original sort of Dranglade Castle? Or is it something different? This is kind of weird though, because so far all of the places that we've visited have actually been like physically connected to the point where you can literally see the other levels from each other, right? There is certainly something mystical going on because for some reason the time of day changes depending on in which level you are. But other than that, they were like physically and logically connected. This is the first time it actually doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, we're literally on top of the windmill, and yet it looks like some sort of hellish landscape of a castle. Which kind of makes me think, like, why did they use an elevator to get to this level? That doesn't really make any sense, right? I mean, I wonder if they'll actually explain that, how that works, or what that's supposed to be. If that's some sort of weird dream or something else entirely. So Let me actually go to this bonfire. I feel like that's a better starting off point for this whole thing. Also, I can actually get used to the twin blade if I start from here. I can still use my shield, so that's definitely good. I mean, it certainly seems equally strong. Okay, where do I actually want to go? So that's the place that I want to go. Where the weird dude is waiting, and for some reason I wasn't able to figure out how to get to him. Do you think you maybe have to purposefully stop the... I wonder if now that we've stopped the cogwheels, if they actually provide some sort of point of point that we can jump to or something. Because I'm still actually confused. I didn't really think that much about it, but I'm still really confused to the platform down there, right? Where there was that other item, and I just wasn't able to get off of it again. That's still equally weird to me. And for some reason there seemed to be a platform that you could get onto, but not off to without dying. Also, well, I mean, before I actually finish the game, I think I definitely need to, what am I trying to say? I definitely need to go back through all the levels and try and look at a bunch of stuff that I might have missed. I mean, I sort of didn't really want to go back to most levels so far, mainly because I still have so much to explore, right? There's still so many levels that I haven't dealt with yet. But at the same time, I think that the twin blade seems to very easily hit, like, walls and stuff, because it's so big. That's a bit of an issue, I feel like. Didn't think it would do that, because the attack animation looks like to be fairly close to your body. That might be pretty annoying, to be completely honest. I mean, let's just try go... Oh! Wait, this poison is also drained. Interesting, so we literally drained everything. Now I don't have the bow equipped anymore, though. I might want to change that. Wait, what? For some reason, even though the twin blade seems to be, like, a lot heavier, it also at the same time seems to not, like, damage enemy poise all that much. What was that sound? Didn't that sound like there was an enemy, like, jumping down or something? It also certainly... Oh, shoot! I shouldn't risk that much with my stamina all the time. Oh, right. They can heal as well. Ah, my Estus is much better than yours. Yeah, I definitely need to get used to how much I'm actually able to stun enemies with certain attacks and stuff. I wonder if this is actually the better attack pattern, although it does take a lot of stamina. This guy's still here. Why are you still here?
Well, good to see that you survived. Perhaps you're more rugged than I thought. In any case, the treasure is yours, since you went ahead and took the leap. I prefer a more cautious approach. It's hard to know who to even trust these days. For instance, I've heard that a man is out for my life.
So now I know who you are.
What misunderstanding could have ever led to that? The poor bloke must have quite an imagination.
That was the guy back in Huntsman's Copse, right? In the bonfire, or at the bonfire that was behind those bars that we had to unlock. But I think, didn't he already vanish?
You be careful too, my friend. For trust.
Or not vanish, but move on or whatever. At least I don't think he was still at the bonfire where we met him.
Careful too.
So I can have the treasure, eh? I don't really know what that means, to be honest. Or rather, I don't really know. See, I mean, what's the deal here? The cogwheels certainly aren't the solution. I can't jump over that. What the fuck is going on? I don't know. It just seems so bizarre to me. Seems like I'm really missing something sort of fundamental here. Like using X to actually open the frickin' door things. Oh shit, I forgot about you. Why am I constantly forgetting about these guys? Where's he even chilling? What? Up there somewhere maybe? Wait, is that... I mean, there has to be a way to get over there, right? But this is certainly not it. I mean, there's definitely not a place to jump down from, right? There's also no other, like, maybe that thin sort of line over there, but where would that come from? You see that from here? I don't think so. I mean, up there, that certainly doesn't work. I mean, I'm 99% sure that I would just fall down if I tried to go over there. I mean, visually it wouldn't make any sense whatsoever if it would be possible to get over there. I mean, maybe you can make the jump to that sort of small thing, but that just feels wrong, to be honest. That's so weird to be completely honest. It's just so weird to me. Why this would be a thing. Can I hit him? No. Or can I? Oh, it can. I just need to get the angle right. Fuck. Well, this is awkward. Oh my god, seriously? Yeah, I mean, if he just raises the shield, right? If there was an actual physical walkway towards him, he would certainly come running, I think. It's just so weird. I mean, there is a treasure chest. There is an item. But seemingly absolutely no way to get over there. I mean, that's just... What? This doesn't seem right. That, like, once again, that's just this just as weird as the whole like windmill thing in general. The fact that you can stop it by setting it on fire, but that sort of function is just ridiculously hard to find. Also, why are you throwing fire at me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Come closer. What? I mean, maybe it literally is that you have to jump over there, but that doesn't... I mean, look at the weird... If I, like, look at where I'm standing... Oops, almost ran off. Look at where I'm standing now, right? I'm, like, I physically can't move closer to the wall. If that's the same over there, then the small platform certainly isn't capable to be stood on. Huh. Ambush, yeah, well, I figured that out. Unfortunately, there's no message here. And also there's no way to use this small ladder thing that I have in my inventory, right? I don't think that's actually... You can't just use that, right? No. You can discard it. Great. For some reason, you can leave selected. Ornamented picture. I feel like this will be important at some other point. Maybe potentially down in the crypt, since that's where the guy's building ladders for me. Although, now that I look at it, it honestly seems like the ceiling's stopping there, right? Wait a second, maybe? Maybe there is actually a way to drop down to that place. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why do I press square and nothing happens? Why is that a thing all of a sudden? Ah, well, I wanted to go somewhere else anyway. Whatever. I mean, it gives me more opportunity to still learn the twin blade, because I feel like I'm just not entirely sure of its attacks. Oh, I think I know what I did wrong. Or at least maybe I just completely overlooked that particular... Oh shit. Wait, where do I want to go anyways? I want to get my souls back, I think. Wait, do I? Yeah, I do. What the? Oh, God. I hate that you can't... Like, you have to pull them one by one every single time. You just can't fight them all at once. And for some reason also the Twin Blade still has this awkward thing going on where you sometimes hit two enemies, sometimes you don't. And I don't know. Considering how big the weapon actually is, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Since I died anyway, I'm just gonna go to the other bonfire though. It's just, man. I mean, I know that it's Dark Souls, you should take things slowly, right? I get it, but you know, I literally just want to get those last couple of items, and it's incredibly annoying. You constantly have to deal with all of these enemies over and over and over again just because I want to check out whether or not I can actually get to the places that I want to go to. I don't know. Oh, once again, forgot about the... Like, see, this time I actually hit the thing on the floor. Fuck. I need more, What the... What was that? I need more stamina. Oh yeah, I definitely need more stamina. Holy shit. Twin Blade takes a lot more out of you. I don't know if it was the best decision to switch to it, honestly. I mean, yeah, I could respec. That's certainly a possibility, but I don't know if I want to be completely honest. What was that? Kind of awkward, to be completely honest. Okay, now I'm... So... Oh yeah, I think you can just literally drop down to that guy. Which is a bit... well, almost underwhelming. Can you please just come to me? Alright. I mean, at least I can still use my shield as well. Yeah, honestly, I'm not entirely sure about the Twin Blade. Wait, what? Huh? Okay, now I'm really confused. So this is, I think... Or wait, is it not? I thought I should be able to drop down here somehow. But you can't. Huh? Oh, also, I just noticed that there's this giant hole in the wall. Well, that looks weird. Huh? Okay, seriously, what the fuck is this about? Shouldn't this be the place where you jump down to the item? Although, now looking at it, it kind of doesn't look like it, to be completely honest. What? But it should be, I mean, it should be directly below me, right? I think? Wait. Let me go this way. Was there somebody here? Illusion ahead? Wait, seriously? Okay, I think... Fuck. I think I actually have to pretty much go back through all of the levels. Spell Quartz Ring +1. Which makes me feel a bit, well, dumb, but also kind of annoyed at the same time. Since I now think that I actually missed a lot of illusionary walls. Because the game sort of tricked me into thinking that I would have to roll into them instead of pressing X for some reason. Which means that I probably missed, well, a lot. Let's just put it that way. Shit. I mean, well, in a way, that's not that bad, because it means that I have a lot more content, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if you look over there, right, to the right, there is this, like, gap in between the, whatever the platform that the statues are standing on and the actual wall. And it looks like that would be where you could drop down to that other guy. But maybe there's an illusionary wall there? I don't really... Did he just fall down, or what's going on there? See? Oh yeah, he's actually climbing the ladder. Well, hello. Bye-bye. Interestingly enough, the Twin Blade seems to stun them, like, slightly more, to the point where, at least they don't get their attacks through. I'm just really confused. That's just so weird. It literally looks like you should be able to drop down there, but then you go up and you can't, because it has this tiny step that you would need to take in order to be able to jump down. This is not an illusionary wall, though. Oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot that they're using their weird throwing knives or whatever the fuck at the beginning. Wait, where's the lever? That's this one, right? I'm confused again. I don't like this. I just don't like running around these levels for hours on end trying to figure out some weird, obscure, illusionary wall just to get to an item that should be very, very obvious to get to. Honestly, that's just not that much fun. I don't know. And the weird part is that it looks so much like you should be able to go there. Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, don't you just want to continue on to the next level, right? Once you've figured this stuff out? Don't want to stay here for like hours on end. With no clue whatsoever as to where you could go. There's also, like, you can't use these windows either. There is nothing here. And then there's just this weird step. For some reason you can't even really look over the edge. I mean, jumping is definitely not a solution, right? Nope. Oh man, I don't get it. All right, I actually want to try one more thing. Although I hate that I'm having to rest at the bonfire for this. Well, I don't have to, but it just makes the most sense. So if I go to the first one in this area. Kind of wanted to try to activate that other wall that also looks like it could be illusionary, but it seemingly wasn't. Oh. How did I miss him? Oh shit. Yeah, definitely have to figure out the twin blades a bit more. And I still don't get what these big bowls of poison are about. Nice. Illusionary wall not here. Yeah. See, this isn't one. But I don't get why it wouldn't be one, because there is literally no way to get over there. Or rather, why are you attacking me? What the fuck is wrong with you? Can you please just let me explain what I was trying to say? Why are you so eager to kill me? I don't know if they have like higher magic defense or something. Might even be the case. But, so, let me see. Am I safe here? Yes. So the thing that I was trying to say is, right? Where that guy's standing and shooting me from, right? There is like a body over there that has an item. And you can get to that item if you jump down from somewhere up there. And it was like a really, really close jump, and I almost died, even though I had the cat ring or whatever it's called equipped. But once you're on that platform, there is no way for you to get back. Like, literally none. And I was completely confused by that. And I still think that I overlooked something. I mean, that can't be the case, right? They can't force you to use a homeward bone. Think about if you didn't have a homeward bone and had to use your dark sign and you had like 20,000 souls or something. That would feel really, really terrible. And I honestly don't get it. Like, I just don't get what the fuck this is. Like, what the fuck is going on here? A lot of this just seems so weirdly designed, especially again up there, right? There is definitely some sort of gap there, but you just can't get to it for some reason. Like, there's no way to get there, or rather to use the gap for anything, really. I mean, from this side, it even looks like there would be some sort of small tunnel or something that you could go through, but that doesn't make any sense because the poison pool up top is also fairly deep, meaning that there, like, physically can't be a tunnel there that you would, like, be potentially able to use. Oh my god, sometimes I just can't with this game. I don't know. It almost still, it feels like I'm missing something fundamental, like being able to press X in order to activate the, oh, for fuck's sake. Like being able to press X in order to activate the illusionary walls. I mean, that's literally something that I just didn't know and didn't make any sense to me either. And I still think that it doesn't make sense. I mean, what do I want to do? I mean, well, considering there is still a lot of other items that I'm missing as well from other areas of the game, where I also know that I'm missing items from, it actually might not really make sense for me to go forward at this point in time. Honestly, I'm kind of tempted since, I mean, I didn't want to stream that long right now since I need to work tomorrow, and yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff that I might also still need to do, so I kind of wanted to keep this short, right? I mainly wanted to stream Dark Souls 2 again today to defeat the Snake Lady boss, because it really bothered me that I wasn't able earlier, and I would have easily done so had the game not been so weirdly obscure about its things, right? I mean, I was literally running around for an hour plus, not doing anything at all, like anything productive at all, right? Just simply because the game said, oh, well, we're going to introduce like a very weirdly obscure puzzle and not really tell you anything about how to solve it. One thing that I did want to try is, since I'm now part of the Sun Covenant, I wonder if maybe that's the symbol that the knight in front of the sun door wanted from me. So I actually want to try that. Also, I want to check out something else at the start of that level. Huh. It's been quite some time since I've been here. Let me see though, if I want to try that with the, you know what? Since I have so many human effigies as well, let's use one of them. And let's replace the Ring of Binding, for now at least, with the Sun Seal. Oh shit. Wanted to take a look at its description. Just for a time. The reason why I wanted to start here is because there is another item somewhere on this hill that I just hadn't found. And it just doesn't really make any sense for me that it would exist like that. Well, at least they're easy enough to deal with. See that one. Alright, let's Oh, wait, what? He's not dead within one hit? Oh, that's a cool attack. Wow. Didn't know that existed. So there is like a follow-up after a roll? That's interesting. Oh, hi. Why did you suddenly decide to show up? Okay. So yeah, for some reason there is an item up there that seems incredibly obscure to get to as well. Did I ever go here? I really wonder how many things I might have missed here. And it's honestly quite weird to me that they do take 2 hits. Doesn't that look weird? I don't think this looks quite right with the item over there. Because you seem to be able to get over here. It's just that from here on, it's... Like, what's the deal? I mean, there are messages there, but there has to be a way to get to that item. It's a question of how. Why would they... Again, this is such... It's literally one item on such a freaking, like, unimportant mountain range thing, whatever, rock. And I suppose it's probably not even a very useful item for me at this point, but it just bothers me to no end that something that should be so easy to get to is so obscure because for some reason they decided to implement these really utterly obscure things. I don't know. Where did you come from? I think last time I even tried to drop down from like way on top of the like tower, but that doesn't really make sense either. Oh no, never mind. You can't even jump from here. Wait, what? God, there's grass textures and trees over there look so bad. I mean, again, what's the deal? That doesn't make any sense. Why? And you can't like go through the ladder as well? Maybe? I mean, can't go up here either. It's just a big hole over here. This is so frustrating. I don't know. The reason why is because this is like a very old area, right? You've been through so many sort of places within the game world, and still you don't find a proper way to get over there. I don't know, that just doesn't feel right. I wonder if I should actually look up how to get to it, to be completely honest. Because at this point, I feel like I'm just fundamentally missing some sort of basic mechanics that this game, for some reason, either never introduces, or maybe I just skipped something during the tutorial or something that I wasn't aware of. This has never happened to me in any game ever. That I was not able to get to something like this. Although, you know... See, I told you. Completely worthless. Okay, well that was kind of bullshit. Oh well. At least now I have it. Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, of course it makes more sense to actually jump forward rather than sort of diagonally. But I don't know. This doesn't really make any sense to me either. What are you doing? The fuck was his deal? Infantry axe. I think I didn't have that before. Also, you're probably able to light this, right? Which is equally strange that they would put something like that here. Oh well. At least I... At least I actually was able to do one thing, huh? Oh, hi. I mean, that somehow does, make me happier that I was actually able to do at least one thing and not be stuck on this trivial item for an eternity. Wow. How the hell did I kill him so quickly? Oh, shoot. Or, well, never mind. Oh yeah, he's also here. Okay, so this is the other bonfire, right? So I'm still missing those items over there. I was never able to get to them. And I... honestly... having seen what kind of bullshit the game can throw at you and what kind of obscure jumps or whatever the fuck are sometimes required for a couple of these things, I honestly think that I've just overlooked something that is for some reason completely obscure. I don't think there would be more illusionary walls here, though. I mean, the illusionary walls in and of themselves are kind of easy to spot in a way. And at least now I have a way to check. Try destroying. Why? Still slightly confused why this enemy isn't here anymore. There was definitely a guy on top of this bridge at some point. I don't know what happened to him. Okay, well, I'm part of the Fire or Sun Covenant. I'm also wearing the ring. Let's see if that actually does anything. The knight's still dead for some reason. Use the symbol of the king. So the sun ring isn't it, for some reason. I mean, well, only the knight who was standing in front of the door had actually, or had the sun on his shield, right? The door itself actually doesn't. It's so weird that sort of the first level has this obscure door. So if it's not this one, then it's probably also not one of the other Covenant rings, huh? Probably isn't the ring at all, to be completely honest. Oh, I got this at some point, right? The spell quartz ring. Increases magic defense. Huh. A ring bestowed upon students of a certain standard at the Melfian Magic Academy. Soul-based quartz increases magic defense. Pyromancer Gorkin crafts these replicas, much to the dismay of the conservative Old Guard faculty. Pyromancer Gorkin. Okay. Let's actually equip the Ring of Binding again. Oh, for fuck's sake, I always make that mistake. Limits the HP reduction when hollow. I wonder if, since I am human now, I wonder if wearing this ring from the beginning sort of never loses me HP when I actually turn hollow. I guess they're talking about the crest. Which I also still have no idea why it's actually there. What are they going on about? A horse? What are you talking about? I do wonder though what the crest is doing. Produce the symbol of the king probably also means something different. You know what, for a time I was actually thinking that maybe there is a way to just jump down to these fire salamanders. I mean, if I would equip the cat ring with full HP, maybe I'd actually be able to make that jump. But I feel like I'm missing something else there as well. So, I mean, I guess I could try going down the elevator again. I mean, there has to be a way to get to that area though, right? The fact that this door is locked, I mean, theoretically tells us that we would need a, oh, there's a summon sign here. Who are you? That's cool. It says the door's locked, right? I'm kind of thinking that, I mean, theoretically it would mean that you actually need a key. It's not, because otherwise it would say it's locked from the other side, right? If it would be a, it would be something that can be opened when you approach it from the other side. Oh, right. Why do you have so much health? Whoa. Well, that was unfortunate. What? I didn't remember these things having so much health. It's kind of crazy. They seem almost more, like, difficult than enemies in the other areas that I've been to so far. Yeah, I don't know. The thing that is still bothering me is that I'm sort of like aimlessly running around in older areas with the vague hope of maybe finding out how to find some sort of obscure hint or secret in these areas. Well, the thing is, there is a cave over there, right? Cave that seemingly sort of leads to the outside? What the hell does that mean, though? What? So that's how to get to the boss room of the Pursuer, right? I don't think that there's actually anything of importance there anymore. Pretty certain about that. Wait. It's not like one of the other guys was just jumping down here instead of throwing firebombs. Oh yeah! I completely forgot about that as well. The place where those two guys are standing, there is also an item over there as well. That seemingly had no way of no way of getting to it? What am I talking about? There was seemingly no way to get to it. Also, did I ever figure out what these weird statues were doing? I don't think I did, right? Just says nothing happened. Oh boy. What does this say? There was an item behind it. I mean, it might very well be that I'm missing some sort of key item of this area that I for some reason just wasn't able to get to, and that's why I can't interact with those giants, for example. Certainly no illusionary wall here, it seems. That item. For some reason I wasn't able to get to it. Why? It's a torch. Why was I not able to get to it? This is really tripping me up. Now I think that... What was he doing? Am I just missing such, like, very obvious... What? Why was I not able to jump over there earlier? I'm pretty sure that I tried that exact jump and just landed down here multiple times. That's why I ultimately left the item there. Fucking hell. I don't know why. This is just... Oh. I mean, I'm sort of glad that I went back, because at least I got a few things settled here, I guess. These things still look like they could be destroyed. I wonder if you have to lure him here and have him hit these. Nah. Ooh. I don't remember these being so strong. How did I defeat them at the start of the game? What the hell? I guess I was just very slowly sort of chipping away at their health. I don't remember these guys being so strong. Try jumping? That... Oh no, never mind, that's the... Huh. I mean, considering the weird JPEG that seems to be behind these rocks, I don't think you can actually get through them. It's just really weird, right? Things like this, especially since Dark Souls 2 has been so obscure with a lot of things. The fact that these smaller rocks are so much darker than the surrounding ones just leads you to believe that they might be some sort of weird special thing. But they're clearly not, right? Seriously. Come down here. Why the... He's still freaking throwing his damn firebombs. I thought he was also just attacking me with his normal weapons. He actually walked back. What the fuck? Also, I'm still really confused why you see the pursuer here first. Because at all the other places where the pursuer sort of weirdly appears, he is an actual enemy that you can fight, right? This is the only place where he appears and then immediately disappears for some reason. Sort of showing off that he's the end boss of this area. But in a, I don't know, weird way. I'm still... So... Inside this building is where the fire salamanders are, right? So being over here, in theory, shouldn't be connected to anything concerning them. I'm just... It's just a secret room, right? That just leads up to the pursuer. To the boss room, rather. Where are you coming from? What? What's wrong with you? Where did you come from and where did you want to go? The fuck was that about? I mean, logically speaking, right? There's certainly a door, technically even two if you count the huge ornamental one. Two doors that I'm not able to open. So, I guess my sort of... like, the most logical assumption would be that behind that particular door is a way that would lead you to the fire salamanders, right? It doesn't really make sense that there would be another way to get to them, right? I mean, that just seems somewhat logical, a logical assumption. That would mean, though, that you're just not able to get those items for like a very, very, very long time. Unless the key to open the door is somewhere in this place and I just haven't found that one. But at this point, I'm actually fairly certain that I found all the items that were, that I sort of knew of, that I still hadn't found. And the only items that are really left would be the ones where I know that they should be behind that locked door, right? Although this specifically says jumping. Which is also something that I did wonder about at some point, if you literally are just meant to jump down there. For the longest time, especially with these weird illusionary walls, I think that there were just an insane amount of sort of troll messages in this game. But now that I think about it, maybe I was just an idiot, right? Uh-huh. That didn't even deal that much damage. Yeah, so now I'm actually able to get in here. So, I mean, is this how that works? That just seems like such a weird way of doing it, though, right? Like, it feels like this isn't the correct solution. It feels like this is something sort of obscure that's only really possible because I entered the area for, like, you know... for a, like, millionth time. Whoa. Did not expect him to throw that many fireballs. I think before getting the item I should probably try to defeat that guy. Don't necessarily think it should be too difficult. Well, never mind. He just tracks you insanely. Okay. I don't get this game. What the fuck? That just seems like... Oh, wait. I did actually lose some health. Interesting. That just seems unnecessarily dumb. It's so obscure to get down there. And then he just does this insane tracking maneuver. Holy shit, man. So... And then... Seriously? Nope. What the fuck was that? Oh my god. I'm sorry, but this is literally... I don't know. I feel like I'm sort of trying to glitch my way through here for some reason. This doesn't feel like the correct way of dealing with this at all. And then the fire salamanders themselves just seem insanely strong. Like, insanely strong. Also, this is why I hate things like the cat ring. Because having to re-equip it the entire time to make this one jump, to then go back in your inventory and re-equip the other ring, is just annoyingly dumb. What the kind of the... What the fuck? Okay, you know what? I think the best way to deal with these guys is actually to just kill them with the bow. Even though that might take some time. Let me actually take a look. So, I'm kind of annoyed that I lost my souls again. How many arrows do I still have? 7 bleeding ones, a couple poisonous ones. Well, the fire one certainly won't be very effective against him, huh? Of course, now I lost my 10,000 souls. What? That would have been perfect to buy frickin' arrows with. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. I don't know why this game is so weird with these things. Like, why are you forcing me to buy arrows for this weird thing and for this weird... I don't even know who sells arrows, to be completely honest. Or she doesn't. Do you sell arrows? Ah, yeah, he does. Iron arrow, heavy bolt, wood arrow. Are these enough to buy them? Oh, perfect.
I'll be around.
Let's just hope that 50 are enough to kill these salamanders. This is gonna be incredibly fun gameplay. I know, I'm probably harsher on the game than I should be. I don't know. The reason why I'm feeling so weird is, right, that I didn't have these kinds of problems in any of the other FromSoft games so far. I never had the problem of, like, seeing an item and not being able to get to it. And honestly, the fact that you sort of have to weirdly go over here to then jump down on the pile of dirt that looks like a sort of level divider that you would never be able to stand on, that is just not, like, that's just not okay. That is just not good level design, like, at all. Okay, please tell me I can hit him from here. Okay. Does he heal? I don't think he does. Looks like it though. Wait, what? Oh, those were the other... He does heal. What the... Are you kidding me? He healed? I guess they really don't want you to cheese this. What? Huh? Why does he heal? Because he's sitting next to fire? Oh wait, or was that because I was using the bleeding arrows or whatever? Maybe that was just some weird effect on the health bar? And this is with iron arrows. I mean, I actually don't know how much stronger they are compared to the wooden ones, to be completely honest. Also, yeah, the ring that I'm currently wearing, it only gives you 1,000 souls. Are you kidding me? Seriously? But yeah, the ring that I'm wearing doesn't actually do what it's supposed to do. Oh, like the, or am I, wait, did I? The ring of binding. I guess there is, so I misunderstood what it said before, I think. Because this says limits HP reduction when hollow. So I think there's just a threshold at which point you don't lose HP anymore, but you still lose HP in the beginning. So it doesn't actually reduce the HP reduction when dying. It reduces the HP reduction when you, or rather, it prevents you from losing further HP at a certain point. I think. Although I'm not 100% on that, to be honest. Okay. Alright. Change back. Where is it? Heal. Hawk ring. Okay. What's that? Which one is that? Oh, that one. Extends the range of arrows. A ring graced with the engraving of a hawk extends the range of arrows. Blue-eyed Dorgo, the nomadic bowman, had many a valiant victory in battle, half owing to the boon of this ring. Does that mean that you're meant to actually fight these guys with a bow and arrow? Because it kind of looks like it. Is that a sleeping salamander? Sort of looks weird. Flame quartz ring. That reduces flame stuff then, right? Or fire damage rather? Increases fire defense. There are rumors that Pyromancer Glocken has made a hefty profit selling these replicas. Okay. I wonder if I should actually put this on, considering that... Do I want to try and fight him normally? If I shoot him with an arrow right now, he'll probably kill me anyways, right? Because he can just chuck firebolts at me? I wonder if I should try the Morning Star in this case. So I'm just not comfortable enough with the twin blades. Think he'll turn around? Why? Why is he... What the fuck did they do with these things? They're insanely tracking you. I don't think you can actually evade those attacks. Or at least it doesn't seem like it, because they instantly turn the moment you jump. And then they can just trap you in front of them, which is also really nice. Alright, so the ring was a complete failure then. Nice, I guess. I mean, I can kill both of them from above, right? I don't have to jump down to them. It's just needlessly annoying, I guess. Also, I don't know if the arrows are actually going to be enough. I can kill one of them, right? Fuck. Because he has respawn. Oh no! shit! I don't even... Is there a way? Oh, right, I'm an idiot. I can just go over here, right? Go this way? Should be able to hit him from here, right? Wait. What? Are you telling me he doesn't even load in? Huh? The fuck? Are you honestly telling me now that this guy doesn't even load in? I kind of just want to jump down and get the items, to be honest. And maybe try and run past them rather than actually fighting them. Because this just seems dumb. Alright, let me see. What am I missing here anyways? This is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. I don't even know what I picked up! Because I wasn't able to read it, because he's instantly chugging these huge fireballs at you. And I think he did... Of course he loaded in now. Wait, wasn't there another item, or is it that just that one? It's also, like, the fact that he sometimes even chucks them... This is ridiculous. Man, what the fuck? So you're telling me you can't hit the other one from above because he doesn't load in? Seriously? Or am I missing something there as well? I mean, I have no idea what I just picked up. Probably something completely unimportant. I don't know. I can't think of a way to deal with these things. They just seem so weird to deal with. They seem like they're not even meant to be defeated in normal combat for some reason. I don't know, because they're so... like, again, what's the... I didn't pick up a ring, right? Or did I? Did I pick up another ring? I think it just looks like that, because I hadn't opened this menu after I got the other one, right? Yeah, I got the Hawk ring, I got the Flame Quartz ring. It's not even about the fire defense. The problem is that you seemingly can't evade these fireball attacks for some reason. And then when you try and get in to actually hit them, they just pretty much instantly turn towards you and hit you anyways. I mean, at least I got a couple of items here. At least I somewhat progressed through this area compared to before. I'm still missing a couple of things though. And at least now I know that I can jump down to those things, so I guess I could just come more prepared the next time. You know what? I just need to remember to buy arrows. Every time I have a couple of souls left over when I return to Majula, I'll just always buy arrows. And that way, hopefully, I can just deal with them from range in the future. I mean, I can certainly kill one of them. And then the other one, I mean, even if he, for some reason, refuses to spawn in right away, maybe there is a way. I mean, there are these stone pillars, right? So maybe there is a way to like hit him once, hide behind the pillar, wait out his 3 fireballs, and then hit him again. I know that sounds incredibly boring, but I honestly don't know of a better way to deal with them. It just seems so ridiculous that, I mean, from a range, the fireballs are actually fine, because you can sort of bait them out, you can evade them. I mean, that's fine. The problem is that they literally seemingly turn or like instantly turn towards you if you're getting close. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there. Maybe there's some other way of dealing with them. I mean, technically, I also have, for example, these witching urns, technically they're only fire salamanders, right? So I guess dark damage or magic damage would still hit them. The problem is for these things you'd also have to get in close, right? Or somewhat close at least. So I think hitting them from a range is probably the best solution. But once again, the fact that the second one for some reason doesn't properly spawn in, seemingly, that's already, I don't know, it just makes you, even being able to jump down on that pile of rubbish already feels like the wrong sort of way of getting down to them. But, I mean, now having been down there, seemingly there isn't any other way of getting there, right? Unless maybe the cave that you can go in if you defeat the second one would loop back to that door and can then be opened or something. But, I mean, even if there would be, theoretically, a second way of getting into the cave, you wouldn't actually be able to get to the fire salamander, because he would literally look at you and spew fire through the cave and you'd instantly die, probably. Or even if you didn't die, you still wouldn't be able to get through the fireballs, right? Man, such a weird... And the weirdest part about this, the weirdest part is that the things that you find down there... I mean, sure, I found a couple of rings, but they're not... I guess they're not necessarily items that warrant being sort of in the end game or later down the line, right? They might be powerful or good, or they might be very good for certain builds or whatever, right? But I found nothing that would suggest that going down to the fire salamanders is actually something that you're only supposed to do sort of at end game or something, or at least in sort of the second half of the game or whatever, or 2/3 through the game, right? It seems like a place like any other that you're able to potentially jump down to as soon as you have enough health. Although that being said, at the beginning of the game you certainly don't have enough health to jump down there. I mean, you can get the cat ring very early on, so I guess that would be a way of doing it. Or maybe I'm missing something else entirely. Maybe there is some weird, obscure way of drowning them in water by activating some sort of other contraption or something. At this point, I really don't know anymore. For some reason, I just can't get behind Dark Souls 2's level design. Somehow there's always something that is just really, really obscure to me. And again, the weirdest part about that is that the first game didn't have that at all. Bloodborne didn't have that at all. Sekiro didn't have that at all. Those games, while having obscure items or routes that are somewhat difficult to get to, still always work in sort of a fair way where you're actually able to discover how to get to places, right? Well, you know what? It was meant to be a short stream anyway. I certainly did get a couple more items, so I'm actually kind of happy about that. And I defeated the Snake Lady. So that's pretty cool, because that means that whenever I start Dark Souls 2 back up again after the Elden Ring stuff next week, I can then just start with... Where are we now? Here, right? I can just start with Iron Keep. Which is pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to do that. Although, again, still, the fact that this seems to be some sort of weird, disconnected area, I don't know, it almost looks like more of an endgame area, or at least an area that's close to endgame, but it's, at least in this menu, it appears before these two levels, right? Having said that, though, since I do have another... wait, let me actually swap over my weapon again. Since I do have another branch of yore, that's one thing that I'm going to do, because I am wondering whether or not the level that you can reach through the forest here might actually be somewhat of an earlier level, and I don't really want to over-level it by too much, I guess. Although I don't know if that's really possible in Dark Souls 2 anyways. I mean, again, I said that at some point, all of these levels very much seem to work in a way where you're sort of able to approach them in any given order. At least to a certain extent.
See that statue? Ah, hey.
Okay. Why? Isn't he usually just destroying the door? At least I thought so. So it's been a long time since I've been here, actually. Oh, fuck. What the hell? What? Oh, hi. They actually all destroyed their doors. Well, for these types of encounters, the Twin Blade is certainly pretty good, because it definitely hits more enemies than the Morning Star or the Mace. Although it's not entirely consistent, I feel like. Okay, I did not expect this to happen, to be completely honest. Try item, yeah, the branch of yore. Let's see who you are. What? Hi. Everything alright? Okay, calm down.
I've been petrified. Hard to speak.
This voice acting, you know, doesn't really come across as, like, it's good voice acting, don't get me wrong, but the fact that she's literally not moving while she's saying that is certainly takes a lot away from it, which, I mean, I know that's how FromSoft did it for a very long time, but it's a bit of a shame, actually, that they get these good performances out of these voice actors, and then the animators do literally nothing.
No, I'm fine. Really, I am.
Also, the voice is higher than I expected it to be.
My name is Rosabeth.
Okay.
Thank you so much for rescuing me. Oh, you're that traveler.
You know me?
I still haven't thanked you.
Wait.
Well, I'm quite a hand at pyromancy. So perhaps you could consider this my thanks.
Prism stone. Cool.
I was attacked and turned to stone, I think. I owe you my life. If you had not come... Oh, I feel shameful wearing these rags.
That was a weird line. Was she just referencing that we met in the past at some point when she was still not petrified? Or was she just saying, oh, you're the traveler that just saved me? Because that would also be pretty awkward.
I hate to burden you further, as you've already saved my life. But just look at me. My clothes are in tatters. Do you have any clothing that you could spare? I'll take anything. Whatever you don't need. I'm not particular when it comes to apparel.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Anything at all will do.
Do have clothes.
Put it on the ground, and I'll change into it later.
Huh. She's the one that reinforces the pyromancy flame. Very interesting. Rosabeth of Melfia. So, I definitely recognize the voice. Isn't that the same voice actor that Tataru has in Final Fantasy XIV? Is it Tataru? It's definitely a voice actor from 14. Voice actress, I guess. Give equipment. Wait, so I can, for example, give her this? Is that really possible? That would be... interesting, I guess. Once equipment is given, it cannot be retrieved. Wait, let me check. Are there other things that I just don't really need anymore? Varangian cuffs. Underarm manchettes. Hollow infantry gloves. I don't know how they look, to be completely honest. Can you just dress her up? Is that the point, or like what? Sure. Okay, that's 1,000 souls. And what does she sell? Oh, flame quartz ring. We'll now have the +1. Okay. Weird. Thunder and dark as well. Small bluebird, yellowbird. She sells fire seeds? 3 of them? Alright, so it took me over 50 hours of playing the game to get 3 of them, right? To find them in various places. And she just sells 3 as well? Sure. Sure. Poison mist. Creates a cloud of poison mist. This spell contradicts the very principles of pyromancy, suggesting that its creator had a heretical streak. You know what? I wonder if this is actually really beneficial. If you'd have this to fight against the snake while the poison is still active, I wonder how much it actually helps.
I have my very own teacher. His name is Carillion of the Fold, a famed sorcerer in Melfia, our hometown. I was fascinated by sorcery, and so, well, he's so unique, you see. When he set out for Drang Lake, I couldn't let him go alone. But we were separated, quite early on, I'm afraid.
We also haven't heard anything as to what this weird petrifying stuff might even be about, or why people are petrified.
I'm rather unskilled. My lord probably ditched me. But, oddly,
Seriously?
I'm a fast learner when it comes to pyromancy. What we're fascinated by, and we're skilled at, are not always the same thing.
That's true.
Why can't I just focus on what I truly enjoy? Oh dear, I shouldn't be so choosy. It's hardly my place. I have my very own teacher. His name name is Carillion of the Fold. I was fascinated when he... But...
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy for this gift. After I change into this, I'm heading for Majula.
Cool.
I'm not sure where I might find the Lord. But perhaps Majula is my best chance.
That is so weird that you can suddenly give her, like, gifts and stuff. Do you comment on this?
What? Clearing the way as you're doing, was it? Didn't think you had it in you, pal. No. That's not like it sounds, no. It was a pleasant surprise, that's all. Name's Ben Hart. Thanks to you, I can resume my journey. If we share the same path, I'm sure that we are going to meet again.
Probably.
I'll repay my debt to you in battle. I swear it. By my sword.
So maybe he's an NPC that you can
The head's
summon?
gonna be long, but I'm here to help. I am in your debt. It's a true man who honours his debts, and I'll see mine paid. I swear it by my ancient sword.
It's just such a vague thing, right? Because Ben Hart of Jugo. Well, let's hope that there is like a bonfire close by, because I don't really want to start an entirely new level. I just sort of had hope that maybe I could unlock a new bonfire or something. That is certainly somewhat of an interesting thing to look at right the moment that you open this door. Are there... Yeah, there's more of these guys here as well. I don't think you can even... Or I guess you could jump over to them, maybe? Oh, there's the bonfire. Huh. Chest? Oh, I wanted to read the frickin' message. Oh, well, whatever. Oh. Well, nice. I wonder if they expect you to get to this place way earlier on. I mean, you get branches of yore fairly quickly. It's just that I use them on all kinds of other statues. Statues that ultimately probably were a lot less exciting or interesting or unique than this one. Oh, for fuck's sake. Wait, can you jump over there? Yes. Also, he's just looking at you, right? Please open the door for me. Be wary of head. What? Is that just supposed to be a joke? What is it even supposed to be, this weird thing sticking out of the wall? Guess it's just sort of an object that doesn't actually belong there from somewhere outside or something. Huh. And then you can't even jump back for some reason. Ah, shit. See, once again, this is sort of like in Dark Souls 1, you would be pretty certain that you wouldn't even be able to get to this place, right? Because these like things next to the door here, they're preventing your path, right? So in a way, it would be kind of logical if this was just sort of, you know, purely for aesthetic purposes, that there is like a second layer here with prison cells and stuff. Whoa. Yeah. Who are you? Large Titanite shot. I mean, you definitely see the enemies in those doors, right? So you do assume, oh yeah, you should be able to get there. Although then again, you're for some reason not able to get up here. But the fact that you can actually jump over there and get to it is just... It just feels like that shouldn't be possible. It feels like that shouldn't actually be part of the level or something. I don't really know. And then I guess the forest continues. Be wary of message. Okay, there's a bunch of messages here. Well, whatever. I wanted to stop anyway, so let's head back to Majula and see if she also heads back as soon as we travel. Old Akalar. Where does this get sorted into the levels? Wait a second. Are you actually telling me that I did this in the correct order? Or are you telling me that these are actually sorted in the way that you find them? No, that's not true. I'm almost 100% certain that I found the Grave of Saints and the gutter before Huntsman's Corpse. Also, I think I definitely found the Lost Bastille before I found No Man's Wharf. Definitely. So, I guess this would have been the next area to go to. Huh. Interesting. Shaded Woods, Old Akalar. Huh. Hi, Quantum. You also still waiting for Elden Ring? Or already playing it? Because I'm kind of waiting for it. Okay, what did I want to do? Where did she go anyway? Shouldn't she already be back here? Or do I have to, She did say she was going back to Majula, right? Wait, let me check one more time. She's still standing next to that doorway, or is there something else to it? Okay, so this guy is gone. Probably ventured further into the woods. I'd imagine that you see him probably somewhere further down this level. But then she is also gone. She should be back in Majula, right? At least she said so. So maybe I just overlooked her? Where could she be? One thing that I do like about Majula is that it feels a bit more sort of safe and a bit more like an actual home compared to Firelink Shrine. Especially with all the people that gather here over time. Although Firelink Shrine certainly you know, is just... I don't know, the problem, the biggest issue with Majula is mostly that the NPCs don't change quite as much as I feel like they should. At least their dialogue should change more often. Sort of commenting on your journey, or at least on events or bosses that you've killed or whatever. Is she somewhere else entirely? And this is where the Miracle Lady is, right? Is she still there? She should be, yeah. He's still sitting next to the giant well. Nobody up there, I suppose. That would be kind of weird. Maybe she's in the mansion, although... What would happen if you unpetrified her first before unlocking it? Maybe it takes a bit for her to get here? I mean, the guy from... Like, the guy that chills here, right? Next to the flames. He's also somebody who actually took a little bit of time to get here. He wasn't here immediately after traveling, so maybe she just takes a bit of time to get here, I guess. Well, that's fine. I mean, she will appear here sooner or later, I guess. Hopefully. Hopefully she's not dead or something else. I don't know. Just keep an eye out for her. So let me actually do what I said earlier, which is I want to spend the rest of my souls on arrows. So that I'll be able to defeat the fire salamanders at some point down the line. Without having to go down to them. Arrows. Yeah, that's certainly... Hopefully should be enough. So these have a strength of 85 and these are 50. So it'll take a couple of them, but they should be able to take down the fire salamanders. I should actually be able... I'm not going to do that now. No. Yeah, this is actually going to be the end of the stream. Was almost 3 hours at the end. I actually only wanted to do a short one. Because I desperately wanted to take down the boss that it wasn't able to take down earlier. But yeah, next time I think I'm going to move into that fire-looking, hellish-looking place. Whatever that is, because for some reason it seems to be at the top of Earthen Peak, but at the same time it's a castle that is surrounded by lava. So it certainly doesn't make sense that that would sit on top of a sort of earthen stone windmill that I could light on fire with one torch, right? So I wonder what that place is about. Also, I'm kind of taken aback. I honestly thought that the Snake Lady would be the next one of the sort of great souls that we're looking for. Because the way they were talking about it, or rather, I guess... Well, mainly it's sort of my comparison to Dark Souls 1, right? There you have... Don't you have to defeat like 4 specific bosses in Dark Souls 1? So I was kind of thinking, I mean, they made it sound like there would be at least 3, probably 4, or even 5 of these, like, strong souls that we're looking for. But after over 50 hours and 12 or 13 bosses, only one of them so far has actually been a strong soul. So if that, like, Iron Keep thing doesn't have one, I would be very surprised. I think that that's probably going to be a place with one of those very strong souls in them. Yeah. And, well, considering the streams, I said that at the beginning, but obviously Dark Souls 2 at this point is going to be taking a short break because obviously I want to get into Elden Ring as well. Just to repeat what I said at the beginning of the stream, I am probably starting Elden Ring on either Sunday or Monday, depending on if I'm able to get my game before that. Since I'm working tomorrow and Saturday, I'm not 100% if I'm actually able to get the shipment. Or receive the shipment, rather. So, depending on that, I'll either start Sunday or Monday. Either way, Sunday is definitely going to have the last part of the Astro's Playroom stuff, so that game is entirely finished. And then on Sunday evening, as usual, there's going to be Final Fantasy XIV with T-Prog for 4 hours this time. So hopefully we get some good prog in. I definitely still need to figure out a couple of things, especially when to use triple cast with my Black Mage. I just seem to be very inconsistent with that. Or rather, well, I use it at the same spot. It's just that I always end up like in somewhat of a weird place where I have to awkwardly dodge the Protean waves. So that's something that I need to figure out for Sunday. Again, if I am streaming Elden Ring, I would do that between Astro's Playroom and Final Fantasy XIV on Sunday. And the way to know when I'll be live with certain things is obviously to check out the stream schedule that I post here on Twitch. That is, mostly accurate. Sometimes I'm a bit late, although I try to avoid that as much as possible, but sometimes it's just not, really possible. But yeah, that's definitely the days and rough hours when I'll be live with also the games that I put in there. And I'm going to change that, obviously. Monday is definitely going to be Elden Ring. And then throughout the week, it's mostly going to be Elden Ring. And then Dark Souls 2, I sort of plan to return to it probably, so not next week, but the week after that. And then have one stream of Dark Souls 2 and the rest of the week pretty much Elden Ring. Yeah, that's going to be the stuff going forward. So that way we can still make some progress with Dark Souls 2 throughout the week. But I'll also be playing Elden Ring as well. And hopefully that's going to be a ton of fun. I'm already really, really looking forward to it. Especially now since it released, people have been playing it, reviews are coming in. It just seems like overall it's just an incredibly well-made game. And especially it's focusing on the areas that I always like most about the Souls games. So that's what I'm mostly looking forward to. But yeah, we've actually been able to get some things done. I was able to defeat the boss. I unlocked a new area. And I was surprisingly able to get at least a couple of items that I was still missing from older areas as well. And at some point we will be returning to them. But yeah, obviously the new areas take priority, right? Because that's just way more fun to go through new areas instead of sort of skimming through old ones, desperately trying to find how to get to that one item that you're still not able to get to. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun. If you have been, thanks a lot for watching. I hope I'll see you on the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your evening, day, morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!